What if one of the best ways to become a better athlete this school year has nothing to do with what you do on the field, court, track, or in the gym? What if it starts with your schoolwork? Your academic habits can tell a coach something about your discipline, responsibility, time management, and your ability to handle competing demands. Welcome back to the mental weight room where we train the brain just like you train your body. My name is Antoinette Datoc, and I'm a certified mental performance coach. And this is episode 1 of our Back to School mental training series. Over the next several episodes, we're going to build what I like to call your academic mental gym bag, a collection of practical tools you can use to study smarter, manage pressure, write better, prepare for tests and presentations, and take care of your brain along the way. And we're starting with organization because everything else gets harder when you're disorganized. Think about what happens when your athletic equipment isn't organized. You might not be able to find your shoes, your uniform isn't clean, you don't know what time you're supposed to arrive, you forgot your water bottle. You still might be able to compete, but you're creating unnecessary stress before you even get to practice. School works the same way. When people hear the word organized, they often think about clean desks, color-coded notebooks, or perfectly arranged backpacks. That's not what I'm talking about. Organization is about creating a system that allows your brain to stop carrying everything in working memory. Your brain has a limited amount of information it can actively hold and work with at one time. So imagine you're sitting in math class trying to pay attention while part of your brain is thinking, I have English homework due tonight. Wait, was that due tomorrow? I have football practice at 4. I need to remember to study for biology. I think there's a test Friday. Now your brain is trying to learn algebra while simultaneously functioning as a calendar, reminder app, and to-do list. That's exhausting, and it's unnecessary. Your organizational system should hold that information for you. That's one reason organization reduces what's called cognitive load. Instead of using mental energy trying to remember everything, you can use that energy to actually think, learn, solve problems, and perform. Here's something I want student athletes to really understand. Not all stress is bad. Some stress is part of competition. Some stress comes from challenging yourself. Some stress is simply your body saying, this matters. But there's another kind of stress, avoidable stress. And disorganization creates a lot of it. If you knew about a test 3 days ago but forgot about it until the night before, that's avoidable stress. If you had an assignment due today but didn't know about it because you never checked your school portal or your planner, that's avoidable stress. If you have 3 projects due the same week but never looked ahead far enough to see them coming, that's avoidable stress. You can't eliminate every stressful situation, but you can eliminate a lot of the stress you create by not having a system. And that's an important mental performance principle. Don't waste mental energy solving problems you could have prevented with better preparation. Now let's talk about something important. If you're a student athlete, you're not just an athlete. You're a student athlete. And yes, I intentionally put student first. Your sport is important, your goals are important, your team is important, but your education matters too. In fact, your athletic career may last a few years, but your education and the skills you develop through school can affect the rest of your life. And there's another reason academics matter if you want to play sports beyond high school: academic eligibility. If you're hoping to compete in college and even in high school, academic requirements don't disappear because you're a great athlete. You have to meet the academic standards required by the school, the conference, the association, or the governing organization you're competing under. And that means your academics are part of your athletic preparation. Here's something else I want you to understand. Coaches aren't only evaluating your athletic ability. Of course, they're looking at, can you play, can you perform, can you contribute to the team? But coaches are also looking at the person behind the athlete. Can you be trusted? Do you show up? Do you listen? Do you take responsibility? Can you manage your time? Can you handle pressure? Can you balance school and athletics? And yes, your academics are part of that picture. Coaches and recruiting coordinators look at grades, eligibility, academic progress, transcripts, or simply how responsibly an athlete handles school. Why? Because coaches know something important. Talent doesn't automatically make you dependable. A coach may have an incredibly talented athlete who constantly misses assignments, doesn't go to class, doesn't manage their schedule, and creates eligibility problems. That's a problem for the athlete and for the team. On the other hand, an athlete who demonstrates responsibility in the classroom is showing a coach that they can manage commitments. That's valuable. Now I want to make something very clear. I'm not saying your grades determine your intelligence. They don't. A grade is information about how you performed on a particular assignment, a test, or in a course. It's not a measurement of your worth. It doesn't tell you whether you're a good person. It doesn't tell you whether you're capable of achieving your goals. And one bad grade doesn't define you. But your response to that grade tells a story. Did you ignore it, blame someone else, give up? Or do you ask, what can I learn from this? And what can I do differently next time? That's mental toughness. So let's get practical. If you want to start this school year organized, I want you to create an academic game plan. You don't need a complicated system. You need a system you'll actually use. Step 1, know where everything lives. Know where your assignments are posted. Know where your calendar is. Know where your grades are. Know where your teacher's notes and resources are. If your school uses an online portal, learn how to navigate it. Your goal is to eliminate, I don't know where to find that. Step 2, put everything on one calendar. Use your school's calendar, an academic planner, or whatever system that works for you. Put on the calendar your tests, quizzes, papers, projects, presentations, assignments, athletic commitments, family obligations, anything that puts a demand on your time, put it on your calendar. You need to be able to see your whole life, not just your homework and not just your sports. Because if you have a major biology test on Friday and an away game on Wednesday night, that's information you need when you're planning your week. Step 3, create a daily to-do list. Your calendar tells you when something is due. Your to-do list tells you what you're going to do about it. Those are different things. Instead of English paper due Friday, your to-do list might say Monday, choose topic, Tuesday, research, Wednesday, outline, Thursday, draft, Friday, revise and submit. Now the big assignment becomes a series of smaller action steps, and that's much less overwhelming. Here's a routine I really like for student athletes. 4 portal checks per day. 1, in the morning, before your day gets moving, look at what's coming. What do I have today? What's due tomorrow? What should I start working on? 2, during the school day, check for new assignments, announcements, changes, or deadlines. 3, after practice. This one is especially important for athletes. You've just finished practice, you're tired, you want to eat, shower, relax, and maybe scroll your phone. Before you completely shut down for the evening, check your portal or your calendar. Ask, what needs to happen tonight? Number 4, before bed. Look ahead. Make sure you haven't missed anything that's due tomorrow. Know what's coming. Put it on your to-do list for the next day. Then shut it down. You don't want to lie in bed thinking, did I forget something? Your system should answer that question for you. One of the biggest mistakes students make is only looking at what's due today. Mentally strong student athletes look ahead. Look at your week. Look at the next 2 weeks. If you see 3 big assignments landing on the same Friday, that's not something you want to discover Thursday night before they're due. That's something you want to see coming. And once you see it coming, you can distribute the work and make a plan. That's the difference between reacting and planning. Here's another strategy I want you to try. Use part of your weekend to get ahead. Check your academic calendar or your portal. Then ask, what can I complete now that will make my week easier? Maybe you can finish a reading assignment, start research, make flashcards, review notes, work on a paper, prepare for a test. You're not trying to spend your entire weekend doing schoolwork. You're trying to buy yourself some breathing room during the week. Because when your sport practice runs late or you have a tough day, you'll be glad you didn't leave everything until Wednesday night. So here's your first mental rep of the week. I want you to build your academic game plan. You need 1 place for your assignments, 1 calendar, 1 daily to-do list or system, and 4 daily check-ins, morning, during school, after practice, before bed. And if you're listening to this before school starts, don't wait until you're overwhelmed to build the system. Build it now. Here's the bigger lesson I want you to take away from today's episode. Organization isn't about being perfect. It's about being prepared. And preparation is a mental performance skill. When you organize your responsibilities, you reduce cognitive load. When you reduce cognitive load, you free up mental energy. When you free up mental energy, you can focus better. And when you focus better, you have more capacity for the things that matter: learning, training, competing, recovering, and enjoying your life. You don't need to become the most organized person in your school. You need a system that works for you, and then you need the discipline to use it. So as you head into this school year, remember, don't just prepare your brain for sports. Prepare your brain for school and life. Know what's coming, write it down, Break big assignments into smaller action steps, check your system, work ahead, and don't let avoidable stress take up space in your mental bandwidth. Next time, we're going to talk about something many students think they know how to do, but they often don't: highlighting. Because if you've ever highlighted an entire page and then wondered why you still can't remember anything, well, we're going to fix that. Thanks for tuning in today. If you found this episode valuable, click like, drop me a comment, share it with a student athlete, and don't forget to subscribe and follow the Mental Weight Room on Facebook and Instagram so you never miss a mental workout. This is Coach Antoinette signing off, and until next time, keep training your brain like you train your body and keep pushing your limits.